So, welcome back after the break. We chose a pretty good moment for the break because there's not a lot has happened in the meantime. So perhaps we can now run over the moves since we took that pause. Queen e4 appeared as was expected.
Yeah.
So keeping that threat, in particular against the bishop on e7 and the pawn on h7.
Yeah.
And
But black did not play queen d3.
No,
Yeah.
which was what we thought she was going to do. I mean, h6, this is a brave move in a way, a little bit weakening in my opinion, to play h6.
Yeah.
And the surprising thing for me is if queen h7, which is the most obvious move,
Yes.
just f6 seems to be playable.
Yeah.
And
Here, black want to play queen d3 to exchange the queen.
yes, at some point, yes, before too long.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe Zhu is calculated, and she know that.
yeah. So she kept the queen in the middle of the board and
Yeah.
made a very useful move, g3.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, a useful move.
Yeah.
And also the queen keeps an eye on the b7 square as well. So that's a multi, she gives herself that escape square on g2 for the king. We've been talking again and again about back rank mates.
Yeah.
But g3 gives that air. And now b6 by Goryachkin, a slightly ugly move. I'll tell you why that's an ugly move. Because it cuts the communication of the queen along black's third rank. Yeah, that's right.
But black want to play queen d3.
Queen d3 is the main.
And without b6, the queen cannot move.
Correct, because the a7 pawn was hanging.
Yeah.
And hence, white's next move, which is a very sensible move, rook c1. The rook comes onto the open file.
Yeah.
Now there are some interesting little points after rook c1. If black plays
First,
queen d3.
yeah, can I play queen d3?
Yeah, of course. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Queen takes queen. Now,
Okay, and I take.
now rook c7 is actually causes a lot of problems for black because because the bishop is fantastically placed on e3 at this moment. It's possible that this is still, and I'm just thinking about this actually, it's quite interesting. What happens?
Yeah.
What happens if black plays bishop c5 here?
Bishop c5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now we go bishop takes c5.
Okay. And
Takes. Let's say rook takes c5 or
Yeah.
something.
And
Rook b3. Rook a5.
okay.
And now rook takes b2. And rook takes, and then we get the same endgame like yesterday. We get basically a very similar endgame, but this one's actually an improved version for white.
Yeah.
So
Because now the king can go upstairs.
Yeah. So this is a possible variation. I don't think it's likely, but these are the sort of things that you have to consider.
Yeah.
And maybe white could have improved that variation a little bit, actually. He probably could have improved it a bit. Here, so if we go back...
Okay, here.
Yeah, so queen d3 leads to a bad endgame.
Yeah.
We're not discussing whether we're not discussing whether black will make a draw. It's certainly a bad endgame, and only white can win that position. So let's think. The rook on the c file is very actively placed.
Yeah.
So rook c7 we saw was a concern, but. Yeah, how about if black just tries to neutralize that with rook c8?
Okay, exchange the rook. So here you see the back rank.
Back rank. Oh, there's a back rank again. I've got a feeling a back rank is going to cause me some trouble.
Yeah, maybe I would just take you and take, and my queen can go to the h7.
h7, and the problem is now that we don't get checkmated, but after f6, for example, or bishop f6, queen h8,
yeah,
and we have our king and queen are skewered on the back rank. So that would not be well. That would be a quick way to lose the game with black.
Yeah.
So. Oh, it's really fascinating. For me, it's fascinating how these players play. So we've got, after rook c1, the move f6. I mean...
it looks strange.
It goes... I mean, for me, this is so bizarre to play in this way with f6. This is... a very, very ugly move.
Yeah, because your bishop is dark squares and all your pawn is also in the dark squares.
Yeah, very, very strange chess.
And here your queen is just in the corner.
Yeah.
So it looks ugly. Maybe bishop f6 is much better. Just to improve your pieces?
Yeah, but maybe the problem there with bishop f6 is you're not actually threatening to take on...
the pawn?
You're not threatening.
And
also you need to watch out for...
Queen h7?
Again.
Yeah. I just want to improve my pieces. So maybe now you play queen h7,
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, you probably can. You probably can, because queen h8 check is a...
It doesn't work.
Yeah, the black is escaping there.
Yeah, so maybe bishop f6 is much more better than f6.
I don't know. It's all very peculiar to me. f6 is a very strange move. I mean, just look.
Yeah.
You know, what do I know? People play in ways which I... let's have the move. I mean, people play in ways which really surprise me. I'm an old person, a dinosaur, as I mentioned yesterday. You know, I'm there in the Jurassic era. This sort of chess is alien to me. You know, you play b6. Okay, I understand b6. B6, it's a little bit ugly, but I understand it because you need to protect your a pawn.
Yeah.
But then to go f6 voluntarily, you know, without any provocation to play f6, I don't know. But maybe it's all right. Maybe these opinions are all wrong.
Yeah, she just want to make a little space for her
Yeah.
back rank.
Yep.
And maybe then she can play the queen d3.
Yep.
Yeah, because if you not play f6, you play queen d3. At this moment, white just can take and play
Rook c7,
c7.
as
and
we
then
discussed.
Here,
Yeah.
black cannot play rook b3.
Yeah, because of rook c8 check.
Yeah.
So that is it. So you're saying that basically this is a very the move f6
Yeah.
has a very, very specific idea, a tactical idea in one variation, or more than one variation actually, because you are. But even so, that is not a move that you generally want to play f6. Now, I would be looking here with white. The move I want to play,
Yeah.
of course, is rook c7.
Yes. But now it's dangerous, right? Can I play rook d1?
Well,
or
you show us.
queen
You show us.
f1?
You show us.
Yeah. Rook d1 check, king g2, and maybe queen f1, king f3.
Yeah.
First, I can play queen h1 just
Yes.
to...
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. And you
King f4, and then
bishop d6, and king
F5,
f5, and
g6 check.
Yeah.
And
And you lose your queen. Right.
I lose my queen.
Yeah.
Actually, just be a little bit careful there. King takes f6.
Oh. Oh.
I think you got too clever. Just be a little bit careful.
Okay.
And just to show people, queen takes e4, check, queen e8, bishop
yeah.
takes h6,
Uh-oh.
yeah, and rook takes e8. So we're having
So
fun
nothing.
with our analysis. I can assure you that computers don't approve of these moves.
So
but
here, maybe
so
g5?
I think also the simplest is one way to win. It's one way to win. g5 and rook d5 check will win.
Yeah. It's much
Okay.
better. Yeah.
Also, you can play bishop d6 check and queen takes queen.
Yes, and just to...
Play in a very simple way.
Yeah.
So, just not too clever with g6.
Yes. Okay, so here, f6.
So, given that I would like to play rook c7, the most obvious move that springs to mind is king g2.
Yeah.
And also, this has another advantage, that if the queens are exchanged at some point, the white king is closer to the center.
Yeah.
So it can suddenly go on the diagonal to f3 to e4 and start to exploit those weakened white squares.
Yeah.
Another move which springs to mind, she's played king g2,
Yes.
a very natural move. There was another move that came to mind. It was the move h4. And that had a similar idea, actually. Not exactly the same, but similar. Because with this move, you can play rook c7, and after rook d1 check, you can play king h2.
Yeah. So
that gives it, so that is something which you might want to do. And with another little idea with that, you can also play h4, h5 sometimes.
yeah.
And we saw that from yesterday, that is a strategically desirable move to get in this.
Yes,
You know, h4 and
H4,
h5. You know,
yeah.
and in fact it was black playing h5, h4 yesterday.
Yeah,
but it's the same structure, the
It's
same.
always useful.
Yeah, the same strategic idea to paralyze, to cripple the black pawns.
Yeah.
So you know, white probably isn't going to checkmate at this point. Probably not. But you are getting ready for the end game
Yes.
with these moves.
Yes. So you can just push your pawn, gain more space, and develop your king.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's gone king g2, which I like better.
Yeah. It's natural. And here, if black can play just queen d3.
Let's have a look at this, because this is a critical move.
Yeah.
So so queen d3. I think I have to take that probably.
Yeah, and I take.
Yeah, and then rook c7.
And now I can play rook b3.
Yeah. Now this is a big improvement on the variation that we were looking at before. I think maybe she's going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm predicting. So I will take on a7.
And I take at b2.
Two. Right.
Maybe the b6 pawn have some problem. Black will lose her pawn.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. But there are bishop c5 is probably going to be okay.
So
now
an
interesting question is, can we go with the king f3?
King f3. Why?
Now,
Why not?
now let's have a look. Let's have a look, because there
Okay.
are some specific variations here.
Okay.
The black
Just,
black pieces are
exchange the
passive. Bishop c5 is an interesting move, because I want to try and get the same kind of end game like yesterday,
Yeah.
and just to say, okay, I'm a bit passive, but now I'm going to make a draw.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I'll have the worst of a draw, but it will be a draw.
Yeah, but
That's-
now I think it's different, because black's king cannot improve, but white's king can go upstairs. Yeah, it's
So, yeah, let's have a look. So let's have a look. Takes, let's say a5,
and rook a2,
rook a2.
maybe just a6,
And
or king e4. No, king e3. Maybe king e3. Just
maybe king e3.
yeah.
Maybe king e3. It's probably a draw, but it's close. Maybe it's not a draw, because in fact the black king is very, very passive.
Yeah.
You see, normally, in order to win these positions, when you have, even just with one extra pawn, an extra a pawn, you have to move your king across, and you have to sacrifice your f pawn, for example.
Yeah.
So it's not much different here. It's not much different at all. And maybe king e4 was a better move instead of king e3. Let's go
Really?
directly.
King e4, just to
just
sacrifice the f2
Yeah,
pawn.
I'll sacrifice it.
And
yeah.
I take it. Queen f2,
Rook f2, yeah, let's say a6,
a6, and rook a2,
and then king
king
d5.
d5. Yeah, it looks dangerous. Maybe I need to play like c4 to give up my pawn.
Yeah, it's not so easy.
It's not so easy. Okay. Or maybe I need to create one more pass pawn.
Yep, that could be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should play not g5, maybe f5.
And now with
g5,
king,
f4.
and now with
Yeah.
king e6.
King e6. So my king is dangerous. So g5 And if you take my
Are you
pawn,
happy?
I will play c4. No, I'm not happy. I just fighting for draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King takes f5, c4,
c4.
king e4.
Um, 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 maybe can I have one more pawn?
No, rook b7 is winning.
Oh yeah, so here.
Anyway, it's very close to being lost. You know, I don't say it's a win. Maybe it isn't a win, and maybe king e4 is too fast. You know, maybe I shouldn't be in a hurry. So maybe king e3 is more subtle.
Yeah.
You know that, or even I could play a6 first. Perhaps I should do a6 first, and instead, if we go back some moves.
So not here. Maybe it's.
You have to go back several moves.
Here, yeah, maybe a6 first.
Yeah, yeah, and then if c4, the king can come across.
King e3.
3, and then if c3, we go king d2. Let's say. Yep, go on. King d. King d3,
King
c2,
d3, or just h4.
or even h4 is
h4,
possible.
and if you play c2, I can play king d2.
Two.
Yeah.
And it's some problems still, actually. Some problems for black. In fact, quite severe problems, because the king is cut
yes.
on the back rank.
Yes.
So that's and you know the white king is much more active.
Yeah.
Even though it's equal material.
Yes. So it's
This position is like far more dangerous than the position that we were discussing yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, that Goryachkina had an extra pawn yesterday, but in fact it was drawn quite comfortably, quite easily. This is much more dangerous.
Yeah, because of the king.
King.
Yeah.
And what are they saying? I read a book recently, and they're saying that in an endgame,
Oh, I know that.
The king is worth how many?
Maybe if the queen is active, maybe was like a rook, right?
Yeah,
right?
well, actually, I saw it was something like, maybe it's worth something like 4 points.
4 points.
You know,
Okay.
something like that in an end game.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because obviously if you get checkmated, that's a different problem. But the king is worth approximately like 4 points. So if your king is very passive in an endgame, it means you're not using one of your most valuable pieces.
Yeah.
That's why they always talk about king activity. And here there is a marked difference between white and black.
Yeah.
You know, both black and white have passed pawns on the 6th rank, but black's king is miserably placed on f8. And this is very dangerous indeed.
Yeah.
Not easy to hold such a position like this.
Okay.
So she's gone rook c8. So f6 with the idea of rook c8. Sorry, I got completely distracted with all this. Rook c8 has appeared. We were looking at some very nice variations. So the main point that we were discussing was that rook c8 was not possible a minute ago because of takes and queen h7.
Yes.
But here it's ineffective. It doesn't achieve.
Yeah, because here, if white just take and play queen h7, she doesn't have a checkmate.
No,
here.
queen c6 check is a very good response.
Yes.
For example.
Yeah.
And there are other moves
Yes.
as well.
So it's different. So
Yeah. But now it is a question of control. In my view, the key to this position. If Jew is going to win, it will be because of control of the white squares.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So, black has neglected so she's neglected her white squares completely.
Yeah.
She's got a black squared bishop, dark squared bishop, and all her pawns also on dark squares. But the white has a definite advantage here
Yeah.
with the white squares. So one move which could be tried is rook c6.
Oh, rook c6. And
And now there's an important tactical point which you must spot, because the most natural move is queen b7.
oh, it's not good because of rook f6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping you on your toes with
Yeah.
these, but this is important, you know,
Yes,
because
it's
otherwise,
important.
rook c6 doesn't make any sense at all,
Yeah.
and that leads to a discovered attack on the queen. So,
And if I just capture you
yeah, okay, if you capture,
and capture, so here the queen is much better than this queen.
yeah. There is a huge difference in the domination actually of the pieces.
Yeah.
That maybe queen d3 is possible. I think black has to activate very quickly.
Maybe not, because I can
I'm going to start checking you.
win the pawn, and
Yeah.
maybe you will have a perpetual check.
I'm-
Let's try it.
Let's try.
Okay.
Let's have a look. How
Just
do
check.
king of seven.
and
Yeah.
take the pawn,
Yeah,
and
queen e4 for check. And then where is the king going?
Oh, it's a problem. Where? Oh, maybe it's a perpetual check.
Yeah, it doesn't look very promising, does it? Yeah. So I think you have to be a little bit more circumspect. If we go back, we need just to
Here.
prepare it. h4.
H4. Okay.
We give ourselves that little escape square,
Yes.
which you're going to highlight, on h2.
Yeah.
So
Maybe,
we are now threatening to take the pawn, and we've got a little escape square on h2, so there will be no perpetual check.
Yes. And
So although it's equal material,
yeah.
this position is not equal at all. It looks like black is suffering.
Yeah, but
really
I
suffering.
think black can hold the position.
I'm not so sure.
For
I'm not
example,
so.
I just play king f7, or how can I save this pawn? It's not so easy. Right?
No, it isn't. It isn't.
Yes, if I play king f7, you can play queen b7.
Queen b7 is
Yeah.
good. And I've created that important bolt hole for my king. You know, that is the key thing. So now you can never give this perpetual check.
Yeah.
So I can always escape.
Yes. So here, rook c6 is a very strong move.
It's just a positional move. Yeah.
Yeah, you are good at position.
No, well, you know, the thing is that I grew up in a different generation. Of course, there are many good positional players, but there are certain players I like to think of in this type of position. You know, guys like Anderson, Ulf Anderson.
Anderson.
You know, who was a great player, particularly in the 1980s.
Okay.
Swedish grandmaster,
Yeah.
and he was very, very good in these squeezing positions, you know, with small advantages. You know, he
Yes.
would be so excited in a position like this.
Really?
You know, oh, yeah, he would love it because he couldn't possibly lose. I mean, he hated losing.
Yeah.
So if it was a draw, it was okay. But if he could squeeze, then he was a very happy guy. And he was extremely good at it.
Yeah.
So this is just a good positional move. And there are not many options, actually, after this.
Yes. Black.
You know there are other things here. I mean, if we just go back one move, I mean, Rook C6 has not been played.
Okay.
We could play in some other way, like Rook takes C8. That could be played. Okay, Rook takes C8. Yeah,
Rook takes C8.
Rook
Just
takes
take
Rook.
it?
Yeah, I'm just showing, and now maybe Queen D5, maybe just to edge forward.
Yeah.
Come forward, and then maybe B3 at some point, and we just got that little control on the Y squares.
Occupy the center.
Yeah. So the problem for black is that long term, if the queens are exchanged at some point, the endgame could be very bad because, again, we talk about the bad bishop, the pawns, the black pawns are on the black squares.
Yeah.
And it's like always the case, you want your pawns on the opposite squares as the bishop.
Yeah.
But you may say, this is to be devil's advocate here. You may say, but white has a dark squared bishop.
Yes.
She's played Rook C8.
Yes.
White has a dark squared bishop, and you've got 4 pawns on black squares. So what's the big deal? Go on.
Okay. I just have a question. Is that if black want to play for a draw, should she exchange the pieces into a rook ending or a queen's ending?
Well, I think a queen ending is better. Actually, this endgame would be much, much worse with an exchange of queens. It depends on the time a little bit. If white is able to get the king up the board, let's say into the center, to E4, if we can just... We've been talking about that. If the king can come here with an exchange of queens, and then white gets in G4 and pawn up to H5, then this you get a grip, a bind on the position. This would be very unpleasant.
Yeah.
Very, very close to losing, if not losing for black. So I think black actually wants to keep the queens on.
Yes. But as we know, all the rook ending are draw again, right? So maybe I think she should play queen d3 to exchange queen into a rook ending. Maybe better than queen ending.
Who knows?
Right?
Who knows?
Okay. Maybe she doesn't like to give up her pawn.
Yeah. I like queen d5 actually. I mean, it's because I want to stop. I want to stop queen d7. I want to make it difficult for you to move your king.
Yeah.
That is a very centralizing, controlling square.
Yes.
I think she'll play it because otherwise I don't understand why she's exchanging rooks.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So she will play.
It's too simple otherwise. Queen d5 is just it's an obvious strategic move.
Yes, and if you play queen d5, the black's king cannot move, and the queen have nowhere placed. Yeah. So what can black to do? Maybe just exchange the bishop.
Well, how?
Bishop c5.
Okay, let's have a look at it. Let's have a
But
look tactically.
It's look ugly.
Yeah, well, look, no, I think it's actually quite a good idea. I was going to... Yeah, queen c4 is no good because you can check. You can play queen b7 check.
Yeah, I can check.
So, yeah, maybe you can just do that. Maybe that's okay. Bishop f4.
Bishop g f4.
Yeah.
You don't want to exchange?
I don't want to exchange. I think your bishop is bad.
Okay, but if you exchange, my pawn structure is broken.
It's still not easy for you, actually. It's still not easy, that endgame, because if we just go back one move, so
Okay.
No, after bishop c5.
Yes.
Okay, if I take,
Yes.
pawn takes,
yeah.
and now you maybe want to play c4, so I can play b3 just
B3.
to keep that under control.
Yeah.
And I want to play h4, h5. These are the ideas that we've been talking about.
So maybe I need to play like g6 and h5 to against
Well,
you.
g6 is very... Yeah, maybe. It looks very loose.
Maybe I can try it. g6. You cannot.
Okay, g6. I'll play h4.
h4 and h5.
h5, and now I go with my king. King f3.
King f3. Okay. Can I go with my king too? Here. Maybe I can check you.
Okay, you can check.
But,
I'm going across. I'm
yeah.
going to c4 anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going
but
to.
it doesn't work. Maybe. Okay, I just develop my king too.
King e3.
King e3. And here, maybe I cannot exchange the queen. So if I exchange, no, I cannot exchange. Yeah, I cannot. So
It's probably a draw.
really,
It's probably, the thing is, the game is probably a draw, but it's still black has to suffer.
what can I do? Just wait?
I don't know. I think you can't wait. You just have to calculate something. Maybe queen
Yeah.
e6 check is a draw.
Queen e6.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's a draw.
It looks dangerous.
Takes.
I'm afraid about takes and the king d3 and the king c4 like that.
Yeah, but king d5 is possible.
d5, okay, and maybe
No, the king position is too important.
maybe f3 and
f3 g5.
okay, and king c3. Oh, okay. Yes, I can play like this. I don't know.
Now we start to get exciting variations. f5.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
It's so exciting.
So what's the idea? Show me the idea. H takes g5.
No.
Then
it's not good because
that's
f4.
f4.
Yeah.
And we get this outside pass pawn.
Yeah.
And I'm faster.
Yes. So it's not good. I cannot play like that. Maybe black will win.
Correct?
Oh my god. Okay. So I cannot play like that. So here, black can play queen e6.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, she's gone queen d5, and it's a big decision. I think Goryachkina should play bishop c5. I think it's very dangerous to play a bishop endgame.
Yeah.
Because of this bad bishop. And also if you do nothing, and white plays h4, h5, this endgame will become extremely unpleasant.
Yes, because white can improve her position stamp by stamp, and black cannot move.
Yeah.
He haven't some plan, right?
Yep, I agree. I agree.
So maybe black should to maybe move immediately.
No, I think black cannot afford to sit there for too long.
Yeah.
I think she has to play in some direct way.
Yeah. For example, if she just play like Queen C7.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
Yeah, just
Yeah, maybe H4.
H4, H4. I like. I'll just put the pawn on H5, and I'll fix your king side.
Yeah.
And then I march my king in.
Yeah.
I march my king in, and I want to put my king up to G6 once I do that.
Ooh.
Bring the king forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know I'm famous for marching my king forward?
Really?
I have to show you my famous king march game.
Okay.
You need to study that before the next
Yeah,
next
I
round.
will study it. Maybe we can introduce that game.
Of course,
Next
of
one.
course,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
And what did she play? Oh, she
King
played
E8, King E8.
King E8.
Yeah, okay, she's going for an ending. I don't like King E8.
Yeah.
King, so Queen D5, King E8. I don't like that.
So she just played move with fire.
Yeah, she's certainly playing a little bit with fire.
Yeah, King F8, King E8. Yes.
Yeah,
not
maybe she
good.
wants just Queen D7. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I'm too, let's say, pessimistic
Yeah.
about black's prospects. Maybe it's not a bad move because Queen D7 is not too bad. I'm just wondering, can white play King F3 here?
King F3. Okay. But I don't know what does she want to do? Yeah. King E8.
No, she wants Queen D7. She wants to exchange.
Queen D7.
Yeah, because that's what she wants. So, okay, we've got a move.
Yeah.
H4 has been played. Well, I've been talking about it. This is a desirable,
Yeah. As you
desirable
said,
move. Yeah,
H4.
yeah. But now I think black has to play Queen D7.
Queen D7.
In fact, I think it's the sole purpose of this. And if we exchange queens now, I've been saying that the bishop endgame is very bad, but here
The king is active.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that makes a big difference. Makes a
Yeah.
very big difference. So it might be all right to play the bishop and pawn endgame
Yeah.
like that.
As we know, at first round, maybe it's same. The bishop is bad, but the king is active. Right.
That was exactly right. That in fact the only reason that Ju survived in the first round was
Yeah.
because she had an active king.
Yeah.
Everything else was weak, but the king was in the center of the board, and it was too active.
Yeah. So here, maybe black should play Queen D7.
Should do,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I think she will.
I'm sure she will actually.
Because she played King E8 for Queen D7.
D7, yeah. Having said A, you have to say B.
Okay.
'Cause
Yes.
B follows.
Yes.
She's thinking, she's not completely confident. I
Yeah.
think she's a bit concerned because I'm just wondering, if Queen D7, let's suppose I take it.
Okay. Queen D7.
I'm just wondering if I can play in the most
Okay.
simple way. I'll play H5 immediately.
5. And maybe I just need to improve my king, like King E6 or
Okay,
King
so she's
King
played.
Yeah. Okay.
She's not exchanging. Oh, that's actually interesting. She's played probably in a better way after Queen D7. She's
Yeah.
given a check.
Check. Bishop
Bishop
F8.
yeah,
And Queen
that's
C4.
Queen C4.
Yeah.
And she's keeping the tension in the position Queen C4, and so she's protected her A pawn,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to make it easy. I think what she wants is to exchange the. She wants to exchange the queens at a more favourable moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she wants to do. So she's, she wants to improve the position of her own king, play H5, and then exchange, when it's going to be really, really good. At the moment, it's not really, really
Yeah.
good. So she just keeps the game going.
Yes. I think she want to make black under the suffer
Yep.
more time. Not let her feel so easy like that.
And of course, from a practical point of view, it's more difficult actually that you keep more pieces on. The queen,
Yeah.
the most powerful piece,
Yeah.
moving all around the board. It's got this great scope, and so there are more things to calculate when you're defending with black. And black cannot force an exchange exactly at this moment.
Yeah.
So that is one thing.
Yes, in this position, black's queen is become much better, but her bishop, yes.
Well, it's not
the
much difference.
worst place.
It's not different on E7, F8. I don't think it's a big difference. But so definitely, I would say that this is the first game that the world champion is really pressing. That she's got some advantage. Yeah, maybe not a massive advantage, but she's really pressing. In the second game, she had a chance at some moment, but she didn't take it, so it disappeared. But this game, she has kept sustained pressure. It's not just one move, it's a series of moves.
Yeah.
It's the sustained pressure which is really unpleasant to deal with. When you're defending, when you have to defend move after move after move after move with accurate, this is the real problem. It's not just to be given a position and now to find one thing. You just you have to maintain that on a consistent basis.
Yeah, when you under press, maybe you will make some mistake.
Yeah.
I guess here black maybe will play king d8 and try to exchange the queen by queen c7.
I don't think so. I don't see that is. I don't think that is happening. I really don't.
Okay.
I think H5 is a real nuisance, you know.
Yeah, to stop the pawn. Yeah.
Oh no! Actually, black can black play this? I'm just wondering, can black play this successfully?
To stop it?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I would be looking to play a move like that. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I can play this. But here, if I play h5, can... Oh no, cannot. Queen e2, maybe.
Well,
not.
it's funny you mentioned this. You're playing exactly like Stockfish with Queen e2.
Oh, yeah. And she played
H5.
h5, yeah.
Well, it's the move you want to play. I would be looking to play that move with black. So that's a very natural move.
Yes, but Queen e2, can I?
Queen e2, is that any good? Is that a good move? Can I play Queen takes a4? First question.
Yeah. Then I should to choose which pawn I want to take it. h5 or b6. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks not so clear. Not so, yeah.
Which pawn
That's
should I take it?
that's not very obvious to me.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, let's see. Bishop takes b6 check.
Okay.
King d7.
Yes.
Bishop e3, for example.
Yeah. And I should protect the h5 pawn
But
by
how? But
maybe
how?
queen a5.
Queen a5. It looks like black has improved her position, but maybe not. Maybe
And
Queen c4,
queen c4.
because your coordination is still not good. You're still very, very weak on the white squares.
Yes, and the king placed very strange.
And I'm also, you know, your a pawn can come under attack there. So with Queen d4 check and so on.
Yeah, we all.
So-
okay.
Still not easy, even
Yeah.
in these positions. I like h5 actually from a practical point of view by Goryachkina, even though the engine doesn't like it, because I think if you can get away with playing that, you're solving a lot of your long-term difficulties.
Yeah.
So who are the best endgame players of the Chinese players? Who are
Wang
the-
Yue.
You think so?
Yeah.
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 It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good technique in the
Yeah. Okay, she not played queen e2. It's too tactical.
Yeah, she's played
Yeah.
what, King h2, has she? I think she's gone King h2. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a good move. That's a much more.
It's a move like prophylaxis.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
I think when we play chess, we should always make more prophylaxis.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So we should think about the point of my opponent's last move.
Yeah.
What would she do if she was to move?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should think like that.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, can I play G6? Let me have a look. Can I do that?
G6. Okay.
That's the move I want to play.
Yeah. It to protect the pawn.
Yeah, I just want to, because you had some tricks there with attacking that.
Yeah, it looks solid. Yes.
But it's difficult for actually for black to move after this. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that the position is getting very, very close to Zugzwang, where black is running out of moves?
Yeah.
So if we play b3 now, defending our a pawn,
Yeah.
defending our queen.
So here, I think the black's king is worse played. If the king is maybe in G7, it's
yeah,
much more better.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is absolutely right. That here, it is exposed. I mean, it's very strange to talk about it being exposed because, in fact, white only has two pieces there, the queen and the bishop.
Yeah.
But the queen has so much flexibility going, one side, the other side attacking on G6, suddenly attacking on A7.
Yeah.
Controlling the white squares, that it becomes very difficult to suggest a move for black. So
So here, I don't know what can black to do. She just
maybe king E7. Can you play king E7?
King E7. It looks very strange.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I don't know. G6. I'm just suggesting B3. I'm just wondering, what is king E7 a move?
Maybe I will play bishop C1 and bishop A3 to check. But okay, it looks too tactical.
Yeah, maybe just bishop F4. You can improve the
Yeah.
position of the piece. And in fact, one of your ideas there is to at some point to put the bishop on B8. You can go round and start to create
And
all sorts of threats.
she played
Bishop E7.
bishop E7. I
No,
think
that's-
maybe she want to put her king to
F8 again.
Yeah. Now she feel that the king in the center is dangerous, so she
Yeah.
want to just move her
Yeah.
king. Yes.
And this is a good move. This is apparently a good move. It's a very logical move.
Yeah. Can she hold the
Yeah,
position?
yeah, sure. It's a bit better for white, but not. I think this is good because, yeah, she's realized the danger of. It's very funny because she's played the game
Yeah.
trying to get her king into the center.
Yeah. and then
ready for the end game. Now she's got the end game.
Yeah.
That's she feels, it's a little bit uncomfortable here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm
Yeah.
going back to the side. So
So it's interesting.
yeah, this is a good move.
And here, can I make a joke?
No, we don't allow jokes in our commentary.
Okay.
That was a joke. You
I
can,
know
of
that.
course, you can make a joke.
Yeah, I know that.
They're encouraged.
Okay, I want to make a joke by maybe language.
Oh God,
about
this will
something.
be exciting.
Okay, and do you know what's this?
That's 4.
Yeah, that's 4. And do you know what this?
That's a claw.
No, not claw. That's wonderful. You know why it's wonderful?
No.
Because in Chinese, it's maybe it's a bent. You know, it's bent.
Yeah.
Yes, it's bent. In Chinese, bent is wonder. Wonder.
Oh, this doesn't work
so
at all. I like
it's
it.
wonderful. Can you understand?
Yeah, okay, bent, wonder. Yeah, 1-4.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have multilingual jokes in our commentary. You expect nothing less on something so good. Bishop e7. Yeah, I think. Yeah, let's keep an eye on the clocks. Not very much happening with the clocks, are they?
Yeah, they are very close.
Yeah.
Okay, and Zhu played b3.
Yeah.
Like just a waiting move.
Well, it's not a waiting move. It is a useful move.
To protect a4 pawn?
She protects her pawn, and also, you know, her pawn was undefended on b2, so mainly to protect a4.
Yeah.
And she fixes her pawns on white squares.
Oh yes, so
But
it's useful.
it is useful, but I would bet that King f8. I'm sure it's coming. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking about this.
Yes.
You know, having said A, you must say B. And the
Yeah.
bishop e7, I think, was clearly with the idea of running over.
Yeah. So white play b3 is not direct to against black's idea.
Yeah, it's just a little. I mean, actually, I don't know what she could do directly, but the moment she plays b3, she suddenly gives herself the flexibility to attack the h pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's freeing the queen
Yeah.
to, you know, maybe to play queen g8. But okay, the king is still on e8. I
Yeah.
think she'll move it. She has moved it.
Yeah.
She has moved it. So she stops this queen g8. She's trying to get over for safety. I don't think it's such a big deal. I think that Ju has let slip her advantage, a lot of her advantage.
Slightly?
Yeah, because she was doing really, really well before, whereas now she's just better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, there is another thing that Goryachkina, you know, she has fixed the pawns
Yes.
on the king's side. So she's fixed the white pawns on black
Yeah,
squares.
yeah.
So she's slowly, subtly improving the position of her pawn structure.
So h5 is a good idea.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
And it seemed that, in fact, the only way to exploit that was with some tactical sequence, but it was not very obvious to me.
Yeah. And as my feeling, I think that Goryachkina is a tactical player, and maybe Zhu is just good at positional play.
I
Can
think
you feel that?
I don't think you become world champion if you can't play well tactically. I think it's impossible to become.
No, she can,
yeah,
but she
yeah.
is.
You think she's stronger in strategic play?
Yeah,
Maybe.
because as those game, we saw that Goryachkina always want to solve problem by tactic, and Zhu always play move very safe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not too much calculate maybe.
Well, I wouldn't underestimate her calculation, but I don't think we have seen the best of her chess. If I'm looking at this position, I think she's rubbing her eyes. She's probably a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
That's my impression. I'm reading the body language there.
Yeah. Maybe
Sort of rubbing her eyes a little bit.
maybe she feels the
She's
advantages.
maybe let it go. She's let it slip a little bit.
Yeah.
Now she goes back to concentration, but just a feeling that, you know, maybe this has been ebbing away, this pressure which she had. And I don't think she's got very much at all, actually. In fact, if black ever manages to play a6 and b5, then black can be better in this position, you know. So,
Yeah. But you.
and I mean, it's not.
But you
it's
cannot
not,
play G6 right now.
Not just yet. No,
Yeah.
no.
Because of Bishop H6.
Okay, show us the variation. So let's say I play King G1 with white. Okay.
Okay, King G1.
And you're
G-
saying, yeah, G6 is a move that you might want to play because you want to protect your H-pawn,
Yeah.
but it has a fatal
but not
tactical
not at
error.
this moment.
Not at this moment,
Yeah,
because
of Bishop H6 and Queen G8. Oh.
Her Majesty the Queen enters with decisive effect.
Not immediately.
I was reading about the Queen today on the news.
Yeah, it's good. You see, at first round is knight against bishop, and at third round it's rook ending, and now it's queen.
Queen and bishop.
Yeah. So we will try a lot of typical, yeah, kind of this.
So how do you call the pieces? Is the king? Do you call that the emperor?
No,
You
king.
don't- King. You know, the emperor.
Yeah.
You need to look it up on your very nice little
Emperor. Okay, let me.
your little machine there.
Okay. Okay. Emperor. What's this?
EMP.
Oh.
EROR. EMP.
Oh, yeah. Emperor. Okay. Yes.
Now, what do you call the piece in
King.
Chile? You call it king. Okay, so you
Yeah,
don't use
we-
this. You don't use this.
We just call it king and yeah. And maybe in Chinese it's yeah, it's like emperor, yeah. Maybe. And it's interesting about rook, you know. In the rook in the English it means
Yeah,
like-
but this is a mist. It's a bird. Yeah, but it's a mistranslation
yeah.
because what happened? The first reference chess comes from India.
Yeah.
It traveled from India to Persia to Iran.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we get a lot of these names, you know, like checkmate is Shah Mat.
Yeah.
The Shah is dead. The Shah is the king.
Yeah,
Okay. But, and then it went from Persia into the Arabic world, and the word ruh in Arabic means chariot.
Chariot.
Okay, so it's one of these things you pull with the horses, and in battle, you pull this chariot. So the thing is, when it was these English idiots who couldn't translate this properly,
Yeah.
so they saw ruh, and they've got absolutely no idea what this is, so they call it rook, which is really stupid because it's a bird,
Okay.
and that's not a bird, is it? It's a you could call it a tower because it looks like a tower. That's in German they call it a tower.
Tower. Ah,
Yeah.
okay. And in Chinese we called it like 居.
Ju?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Just 居. But we write down it like a 车. It's like a car or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's very the names of the pieces, the nomenclature of the pieces is very interesting in different languages, because then you have in Russian the bishop is an elephant.
Yeah.
It's an elephant,
In
slon.
In Chinese, it's also write down like elephant.
So it shows that the game is coming from India, because they've got plenty of
Oh, yeah.
elephants in India.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
plenty of elephants in Africa as well, but but the game is from India.
And you have been to Africa.
I have been to.
Yeah. Did you see the elephant?
I have seen elephants. I've seen all sorts of things. I've seen rhinos, hippos, giraffes, you name it. And leopards. They're the difficult ones to see. They're very, very difficult to spot leopards. So I had to go on a few safaris before I saw a leopard. They hide very well.
Yeah.
In fact, you have to be very, very close to. I mean, like at the end of this room,
yeah.
I was that close to the leopard, and even then I had to look for some time before I could see it. They're disguised so well.
Yes.
So yeah.
And she played Queen C2.
Queen C2, yeah, I think this is a not really
She
a
want
very,
to,
very impressive move.
She want to play Queen H7,
yeah,
but maybe I can just play King G8.
how about King F7?
King F7. Oh, okay. King F7, and if I play Queen H7,
7, Queen D5.
Queen D5, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you will have to start.
Yeah, I have to turn back.
Yeah, start scurrying back from where you came.
Yes. So Queen C2 maybe not make some big threat. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and she played Bishop D6.
Okay.
Bishop D6. And if you play...
I think she wants, maybe she's looking for Queen G4 and Queen takes H4 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, so maybe if you play Queen H7, maybe I will play King G4.
Queen G4 with a threat.
Yeah, with a threat, yes. Okay, and the white played
Queen E4.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good move. But it doesn't feel like white is really doing anything. It's just like they're both moving around and trying to be...
Yeah, just to move their pieces. And
Yeah, shuffling around,
yeah,
waiting for something to happen.
yes.
How are we doing for the time? Yeah, plenty of time. I think this might be another good moment for a break. I'm always in favour of breaks. The more breaks we have, the better. So as it's a quiet point in the game. Have a big time trouble, are we?
Yeah.
Both sides,
Have
they're edging towards the time control at move 40.
yeah.
And they've got plenty of time each. And let's be honest, the position is not that complicated, is it?
Yes,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
sometimes you have very, very complicated positions and you need to make very difficult calculations.
Yeah.
And here it's more a matter of being careful,
Yeah.
you know, precise. But I think... yeah, Goryachkina is definitely over the worst. I didn't like her position at all
Yeah.
earlier, but looks like she is, you know, she should be holding the not that bad because she stops White from playing Bishop F4. I mean, White can play Bishop F4, but that's only an exchange.
Yeah.
White's bishop is better than Black's bishop, so, you know, White doesn't want to exchange those pieces.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. We'll take a break. We'll be back soon, and we'll take you through to the end of the game.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And now we have plenty of moves.
Yeah, after a little quiet period. So let's run through the moves that have taken place. They're going towards the time control. So we stopped at this moment, Queen E4, and at the break. And now Black actually made quite a serious mistake. Having played in a very safe, secure manner, she played Bishop C5.
Yes.
Which is sort of releasing the pressure. And Bishop takes C5. This creates some weaknesses in her own rank. And the important point is that now White had this one very strong move, Queen F3.
Queen F3?
Yeah.
Okay. This move to attack the H5 pawn.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you defend?
Oh, it's... first, I cannot play G6. Second, maybe I cannot play Queen F7.
Because of...
Because of Queen A8.
Yeah, that's the important tactic.
Yes. So, here, maybe I just have to play Queen E8 or Queen G4.
Well, Queen G4 is met by Queen A8 check anyway.
Oh, okay. So I only can just play Queen E8, right?
But now I have perhaps Queen D5 could be very strong.
Queen D5. Okay. So I cannot protect the C5 pawn and H5 pawn.
Yeah, she's created unnecessary weaknesses. Yeah, with it, she actually became impatient. There was nothing happening in the position, and just now she's trying to liquidate, to make things easy. And so she played Bishop C5, and it's just a bad move. White has this one very precise move, Queen F3.
Yeah, this was very strong. Yeah.
And after this, Black has only one, which is really one good move, and that is C4.
Oh, C4.
So going for the counter-attack, counter-play, whatever, C4. And the thing is that after that, B takes C4, Queen takes A4, White has Queen D5. And suddenly, although the material is equal...
Yeah, but the Queen is occupy the center and will bring the pawn to push. Yeah.
Correct. And there are other things as well. Even the H pawn is hanging very, very often here.
Yes.
So this position could be extremely unpleasant. So I'll just give you an example. Maybe Queen E8 there.
Yeah.
And then we'll play C5.
C5.
And suddenly this position becomes very, very nasty indeed, because the C pawn is advancing so fast.
Yeah.
And White and Black doesn't have chances to create a perpetual check. The White king is very safe there.
Yeah.
And just the coordination, Queen in the center, just in all controlling in all directions, and in particular supporting the passed C pawn, which is much faster than the Black A pawn.
Yes.
So this would be unpleasant. I don't say it's winning, but it's really unpleasant, actually.
Yeah.
This is, Black position would be absolutely on the brink of defeat.
Yes.
After this. Very difficult to defend in a practical game.
Yeah.
But you see, Queen F3 is not that difficult to move. Instead, however, she played quite quickly, she played a5, which looks like not such a bad move because there is a logic to that.
Yes.
She wants, at some point, she wants queen a8 check or a6, queen b7.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yes, I think she want to play a6 and queen b7.
Yeah. So queen e7 has happened. Queen e7 is a very good defensive move.
So first, white cannot turning into just a pawn's ending. Yeah, just
No,
exchange
no,
because of the king.
Yeah.
Here, here, white king is in the corner,
Yeah.
and black king. Now he it's in the center and can have more powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's clear that white can only exchange queens on b7. That's the only place you can exchange
so
queens.
Here cannot exchange the queen, and she played queen a8 to check, and king f7 like a forcing move. And here, can I play like a6 and just
Well,
want to
that is a good question. So
Yeah.
let's have a look at that. So
a6 and want to play queen b7?
Yeah, but I think the point. Yeah, look, maybe you can do that, but maybe there is just no plan. So if I play
Yes.
g6,
g6 to protect the pawn.
yeah,
Yeah, and I play
queen b7, and
yeah.
now I play f5.
f5. Okay, just wait.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Yes. And now the pawn is under protect. So what can I do? I just move my king.
Yeah, you've got to move your king. So
King
let's
g2.
see, king g2. Let's say king g2. Let's say king f6.
f6.
King f3. Can we do that?
f3. Yeah. And
But here, black can play queen e6. That's the point.
Queen e6.
Yeah, just.
oh yes. So I cannot take the pawn
You cannot take the pawn.
because of checkmate.
Yeah. So in fact, you have no ideas.
Yeah. Oh, she played
Yeah.
a6.
So I think we may get something like this. So we're coming to the key point that you have mentioned, that although, let's say, black is passive,
Yeah.
white doesn't seem to be able to improve her position.
Yeah.
She can put the queen on b7, which was clearly her idea.
Mm-hmm.
Put the queen on b7, but then what?
And maybe improve her king.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, but how do you improve the king?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard. My king only can stay at maybe f3. And
yeah, that's it. That's
yeah,
it.
that's it.
Yeah, and the funny thing, because I during the breaks I like to go and talk to my friend Oleg Romanishin, who's on the appeals committee, very strong, very highly respected grandmaster from the 1970s.
Yeah.
And he was showing one endgame yesterday where he could have just drawn by keeping his rook on the e-file, because keeping the rook on the e-file, it stopped the king from coming across.
Yes.
It was actually in a very similar endgame to the one yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I could have made a draw with this rook keeping. And here it's like
It's-
the
it's
same idea. That
Yeah.
in fact, by keeping the queen on the
E-file.
file, you stop the white king from coming over.
Yeah.
You know, if white could play somehow
The
king
king go
to
to
C4
C4,
or
yeah.
something like that, then it would be
Dangerous.
yeah,
Very dangerous.
yeah, and may even be winning. You know, probably
Yeah.
would be winning. In fact, if he could get the king across, but you can't.
Yes, and she played G6. As you said, you're good at it.
Well, no, I'm not good at it. I mean, look, I would play G6 a bit just because now I like to keep things defended.
Yeah.
And it seems that white cannot do anything by exchanging the
Because of
the
her
queens.
king.
Their king is passive, yeah.
Yeah. So today maybe it's another draw game.
You think?
Yeah. Do you want to guess?
Are we going to bet? How much money are we putting on this?
Okay.
We shouldn't encourage betting. But the Chinese, they like to bet, don't they?
Really?
Yes,
No.
of course they do.
No.
Of course.
It's illegal.
Not in Macau. Is Macau in China?
Yeah?
Okay, so in Macau you can do it. So
Yeah.
that's... we pretend we're in Macau, China. So that's...
Okay.
So, we've got 100 of these things. You're betting on a draw.
Yeah.
That's not much fun because I'm also betting, betting on a draw. So.
And how many moves?
Yeah, that's maybe more interesting.
Yeah.
45.
Okay. No, I think it will not stop quickly. Maybe long time.
60 moves.
Maybe 60 more.
Okay.
I guess I just guess
Okay.
it.
Okay. So we'll see who is closer.
Okay.
I've got...
So you said it's
45,
45.
45.
And I said 60.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Take that.
But I think here, White has no way to improve her position, right?
No, I think that's the basic problem. Yeah, I mean, look, pawn is on a6. If ever,
She played Queen B7, but
Yeah.
here is
Yeah.
cut down at A.
yeah, look, if ever the white gets to capture the pawn on a7, it's going to be game over.
Yeah.
But it isn't going to happen.
Yes.
I just don't see it. So I want to talk about one general principle in chess. You know, that sometimes they're talking about things, especially in rook and pawn endgames.
Yeah.
They say, you know, active defense.
Active defense.
You must always have the active defense, active rook. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you must do.
Yeah.
But in this position, you cannot draw this position with black with active defense. You
Yeah.
draw with passive defense,
Yeah.
doing absolutely nothing.
Yes, just a wait.
You wait. That's it. You cannot go active in this position.
Yeah.
So these people who always talk in these ways, and they always saying, yeah, active defense, you know. There are plenty of exceptions. There are plenty of cases where active defense will not help you at all. In fact, it will lose you the game.
Yeah.
So you need to recognize the difference between the two.
Yeah. So sometimes you should play active, but sometimes you should play passive.
Passively.
Passively,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Queen
It's
Queen d5, check.
yeah. Look, it must be said that probably in the majority of cases you would want to be active. Majority, but not always. Not always. And it's
Yeah.
important to understand.
I think this move is just a check. Cannot bring everything. I just move away my king.
Yep.
Maybe king g7.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's easy. It's
I don't think it's that big a problem anymore. It's you know, once you understand. Let's actually continue, because let's have a look at some let's see if we can get some variations.
Okay.
Okay, king g7.
Yeah.
Right, let me try and win with whites. Let's have a look at this. So you go king g7, I'll play king g2. All right, okay.
yes. And maybe you want to play.
Okay, so you play what? You play...
Here you want to play king f3 and queen e4.
No, I want king f3 and queen b7.
King f3, king b7. Okay. Here maybe I will play f5.
Okay, you go f5, I play
Yeah.
queen b7.
Queen b7, and maybe I will play king f6.
Okay, I don't play queen b7, I'll play king f3 instead.
King f3. Okay. And maybe king f6 too.
King f6 anyway. Now
Yeah,
I'll play
anyway.
queen c6 check.
Queen c6 check, and here I can play queen e6.
Queen e6. Now let's have a look.
Oh,
Queen takes queen. Let's have a look.
oh, it's a mistake.
No, I want to continue. King takes
Okay.
queen.
Yeah,
Okay, now I play king f4.
king f4, and I have to play king f6.
Okay, now I play f3.
f3.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, this is important.
Oh, okay, I will play king e6.
No, I don't recommend king e6. You will lose.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why you will lose. I play king g5.
Oh yes, I see that.
Okay, king g5. Now it's important to understand king here, and now king f6.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
king
f4.
f6, f4,
Yeah. Okay.
king f7, king h7.
Yeah.
Okay, king f6, king g8. We
Yeah.
got to show. It's. I know you understand all this.
Yeah.
Not everybody who's watching understands all this. So here, white managed to penetrate with the king. So and now picks up the pawn. So king, you know, e6 or whatever, and then king g7. So we just and white collects the pawns.
Yeah.
So if we go back a few moves to when my king was on f4, right, king f6 now,
And
f3,
F3.
g5 check.
Oh, g5.
I was actually already thinking about this. So this is g5 check, h takes g, king g6,
Yeah.
and now, what do you play with white? It's funny how these king and pawn endgames are not that simple, are they?
Yeah.
You know, we've been saying this is an easy draw, blah, blah, blah. But in fact, you're having to think.
Yeah. It's not so easy.
In fact, white only has one move to draw here. And that's,
Here?
yeah,
Only
G4
one
move to
G4.
draw. Yeah, because if you play king E5, we'll
Right.
just show what happens. King takes G5. And now if the king moves somewhere,
And F4.
then F4 wins for black, because the
Yeah.
H-pawn queens.
Yes.
Okay, so if we go back, G4,
G4.
F takes G4,
Okay. And takes.
takes
H4,
H4, King E4,
King E4.
King takes G5, King F3, and you're just about making a draw.
H3.
Yeah, King G3
H2.
takes,
And takes.
yeah, and you're just about okay.
And here it's
Yeah,
draw. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah. And actually, the interesting thing is that if we would change the rules
Yeah.
of chess, you
Yeah.
know,
Change the rules?
yeah, because I think that chess is too drawish a game.
Yeah.
I think we have to change the rules.
Ooh.
And in my opinion, stalemate should be the win for the stalemater, the one who stalemates the opponent.
Oh,
Okay.
like 象棋.
And that is, well, you Chinese are much too sensible, you see. So it's you've got the right rules, you know,
Yeah.
exactly. And of course, these originally were the rules in chess,
Okay.
that it was also a win. If you stalemated your opponent, you won the game.
Oh, yeah.
So we changed the rules for some stupid reason hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And it should be a win. Now, in this position, black would win by playing C4.
Yes. If stalemate is
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. So let's say king C2 or something, or whatever you want, or takes, king C2, king B5, king B3, king takes A6. And it doesn't matter because black always wins by stalemate, king B6, whatever you want, A5, king A6, king back, king,
Okay.
yeah, go
Okay,
on.
just
To
yeah.
make it faster, yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, here,
Here.
okay, make it a bit faster, stalemate, and then you should win. Why should white make a draw here? Because his next move, what is his next move? His next move is to put his king into a position where you can take it.
Yes.
And the idea of chess is checkmate. The king is dead. So actually the king is dead here. He will be dead next move. So it should be a win.
Yeah.
And
so
that would make chess a more exciting game.
Yes. So you will change the rules,
Yep.
and what time?
Unfortunately, not many people agree with me. But actually people starting to come round to it. I noticed that
Yeah.
the Danish Grandmaster Peter Heine Nielsen, he started to support this idea,
Yeah.
and some other grandmasters are now slowly, and not many,
Yeah.
they're starting to think about this.
It's an
So
interesting idea.
so that makes chess a less drawish game. You will get more decisive results.
Yes. And you know, in 象棋, checkmate is win.
Yeah, the stalemate is a win.
Yeah, sorry, stalemate is win.
Yeah.
And when we teach someone how to make checkmate by a queen, you
Yeah.
know that, and someone play 象棋, they will always do stalemate,
Ah,
not checkmate.
okay, that's
and
the
we
problem.
we will laugh.
Yeah. So there are some dangers of of playing Shang-Chi and then coming to our chess because we have stupid rules. No, but serious, I'm absolutely serious that this is the best way to reduce number of draws. Vladimir Kramnik has spoken. I've got the greatest respect and admiration for Vladimir Kramnik, by the way. He makes a suggestion that we should you have no castling chess.
No castling?
Yeah, because he's saying castling is an artificial rule. It was introduced much later. Why should there be castling? Look, you can play without castling. You can play with castling, without castling. I don't think it makes very much difference. The only way, I think, to really reduce draws.
Yes.
The only way, but keeping the integrity of chess, is to change the stalemate to a win. Those were the original rules.
But
I'm a traditionalist.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm a dinosaur. So, I was there when they changed these rules, and it was a big mistake.
Yes, but you see, if you change the stalemate to win, then a lot of endgame will be changed.
Of course, you have to write new books, which is very good. That's a good industry.
Yeah. So, King Pawn's endgame or rook bishop against the rook, they will exchange.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm not 100% sure, but I think rook and bishop against rook is still a draw.
Yeah.
But the defense is so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
Yes.
And the nice thing about stalemate being a win is you can sometimes win with king and bishop against king.
Yeah.
You can even win with king and knight against king. Sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
So it's all changed.
And my opinion is, if you play against somebody and you end up with king and bishop against king, it means you have completely outplayed them. You are 3 points up, This is a huge advantage. So if you were in a boxing ring, and you'd hit the guy and hit the guy and you hit the guy again, and he's still standing at the end.
But you have points.
Yeah, you should win on points.
Yeah.
That is basically the same sort of idea. So you're giving extra chances. You're giving extra chances to the person who has played better. I think it's fairer. I think stalemate being a draw is ridiculous, nonsensical rule. And if I would be dictator in chess, I would change it.
Okay. And we see here.
Chess despot.
Okay.
That should be my official title. So what's happening? You tell us. You tell us. I got very excited with that. I got very excited. So make some more moves. Let's catch up.
39 moves. White play queen d5 to check, and the black play king g7.
Yeah.
And white play just queen b7 and king f8 and king g2, king e8. And here, white just check, queen a8, king f7, and queen d5, just to check.
So queen b7, king f8.
So it seems.
So they're going for the same sort of. Oh, right. Okay. So king g2, king.
It seems that the position is not changed a lot.
It's not changed at all, even. That's,
yeah.
So queen d5 check. But I think this is, in my opinion, this is a psychological ploy by Jew.
Yeah.
Because you know what's been happening in the game so far? When Goryachkina has been wide,
Yeah.
she's basically played right until the end.
Yeah.
You know, even if she's got a 0.0 something % chance of winning, she just goes right to the end until it's really drawn.
Yeah.
And here, actually, okay, the position should be drawn. It should be clearly that should be clearly drawn with correct play. But these are the typical strategies which they advise you to do when you're in Russia. You know, in Soviet Union, they say you must check, you must repeat position, make opponent feel inferior, had bad position. So you repeat, and then you show your idea. That's what happens. So you kind of you demonstrate their let's say their helplessness, their inferiority in the position by showing I can make a draw whenever I want to. You can do nothing. You have to dance to my tune.
Yeah.
And then you try something new. So it has this psychological effect of wearing the opponent down. So these are very typical techniques, you know. They're actually mentioned in much older, but you often see that when people get a chance to repeat the position, when they've got the better position, they do that. I don't like to do it so much because I think it's ugly. You know, it wastes time.
Yeah.
And we don't like to waste time, do we? Because then we miss our dinner. You know, that's that's the main problem with wasting time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So King
G7.
King G7.
Yeah.
And that's and now, yeah, that's it. Do we go Queen B7 or do we go King F3? That's the question.
I think maybe Queen F3, King F3.
Yeah, I think King F3. Because let's have a look. You know, let's suppose we go King F3.
Okay.
And if she just, imagine if she plays, let's say, a little bit inaccurately. If she plays King F8.
King F8.
Okay. Now, we pounce. Mm-hmm. We jump in. We play Queen A8 check.
Okay, maybe King F7.
7, then I play Queen B7.
Queen B7. And F5.
You play F5, but then I play King F4.
King F4.
Then you're lost.
Yeah.
Okay, so I tricked.
So here I can.
So you were not careful enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So instead, after Queen B7, if you play, let's say, King F8.
Yeah, King F8.
I win by playing Queen takes Queen.
Queen takes Queen and King takes.
And now G4.
G4.
Only move to win.
Ah, I got that. So here you have black takes pawn and white takes pawn. Then white will play like F4, F5.
Correct.
Create
a pass pawn.
Pass pawn, yeah.
A pass stage pawn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there are some tricks.
Yes.
But not many tricks.
Yeah.
So I think this is maybe it's good. Maybe she's understood this. So you don't really have a lot of chances, but instead of going straight for the chance, you just repeat the position. You lull her into a false sense of security. She's thinking, oh, God, we're heading for the draw, we're heading for the draw, we're heading for the draw. And then suddenly you bring the king up, and then you play one casual move, and bang, bang, and you're lost.
Yeah.
G4, end of game.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we can just show that, that last with G4, you don't have to take on G4, just look at, let's say, King E6, what happens there. Then only one move to win. G takes H5, G takes H5, and King E4.
Yeah.
F5 check, King F4,
Yes.
King F6,
F3.
F3.
Yes.
Okay, and black is in Zugzwang. The king must
Ooh.
give way, and white
Yeah.
wins
Yeah. Ooh.
this way. So it can happen, you know. So black mustn't fall asleep here.
Yeah.
You know, you always have to be careful, even in positions that look very innocuous, that there's not much going on. You know,
Yes.
you must concentrate.
And she played King F3.
Yeah. So now this is the danger moment. This is the critical moment.
So should black play F5?
Now she has reduced her options. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Because if F5, now King F4.
Okay. Oh.
So she's misplayed it. She could have played it in a better way by playing F5 earlier.
Yeah. And F5.
But you see, now by playing F5, the white king is entering into the position.
Yeah, now I get it. So I should play F5 earlier and then keep my king in F6. Then your king cannot get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, interestingly, she's losing after King F8. Is she losing?
Really?
Yeah, she's losing. Is she losing? Queen A8 check. And then Queen B7. Is that right?
Yeah. So.
Okay, it's still, yeah, that this is a winning position. So I think Queen A8 check. Okay, King F7. Queen B7. Now, the best chance. We saw the other variation, because if King F8, or King somewhere else, we just exchange queens, and then
Yes.
G4. This
Yes.
is winning.
Yeah.
So the best chance is G5.
G5.
And here we can play
Can
G4.
G4. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let's have a look. H takes G4 is the only move.
King takes
G4. G takes
H4.
4. King takes
takes.
H4. Now, king somewhere. King doesn't matter. Move your king somewhere. King F8. Okay, queen takes queen.
King takes.
Or not. Queen takes E7. King takes E7. Now, can we win with King G4?
G4. Okay, you have one.
So
move
now,
to
actually,
wait.
the only chance, I'll give you some help. Only chance is King E6.
King E6, not King D. Okay. King
Yeah, you
E6,
run out of moves. So King E6,
Yeah.
I play F4.
F4.
Okay?
Okay. So here, if I move my king, you will go King F5,
So your best chance is King D5.
King D5,
King F5,
F5,
King D4.
King D4. Okay. And just take it?
No,
No?
King. That's a draw, apparently.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
a draw. So you play King E6.
King E6. And King C3, King D5.
Actually, King C3 is losing. Yeah, so you have to play F5.
F5.
God, this is complicated. This is all engine stuff. This is actually
Yeah.
not the easiest move.
Oh,
F5, and now white is winning with king d6.
king d6. Okay, it's
Okay, king
difficult.
e3.
Yeah.
King c6. King takes f4. King b7.
Yeah.
King e3. King
Take.
takes a7.
F4.
f4. King b6.
F3. Okay, push the
f3. a7. f2. Well, okay, we're going to get this endgame
pawn. Yeah.
with queens. Sorry, the king is on b6. You need to put the king on b6, not on king.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever it was.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously. And now queen d5. And that's basically, you've got, you're going to lose that pawn, and
Yeah.
then the pawn is going forward. So you've got this terrible
Yeah. So
ending. So this is actually very, very interesting.
yeah,
Except, what has she done?
she just play queen b7, not play queen a8.
Very strange.
She just play queen b7.
So let's see. 14.
And here, maybe the queen can move. White is not forcing to exchange the queen, right?
And after queen b7, g5 is apparently equal.
G5? Oh, can I just move away my queen? I do not
Where
want
do you
to
where
play
do, where do you
pawn's
want
ending,
where do you
know?
want to move your queen?
Maybe I just move to d8, queen
Yeah,
d8.
that's the d8
and
is
if
still
you
possible.
if you take my pawn, and I will make a perpetual check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to play a pawn's ending. It's too dangerous. I want to keep my queen on the board.
But this is very, very strange move.
So what can you do?
Because it's obvious. I don't really understand it, because it's obvious that white that's a bizarre move, actually, queen b7. It's obvious that white's only chance is to exchange queens,
Yes.
but to force the exchange of queens. And here, you don't even force the exchange of queens.
Yeah. So I can just move away my queen.
It's not even, yeah. And it's bizarre, because look at this variation. If black plays g5 now,
G5, okay.
this is another move which is drawing. Yeah, because now you cannot play this.
G4.
You cannot play g4.
Yeah, because it's not pinning. The queen is not.
Yeah, because exactly, the queen is not pinned.
Yeah.
H takes g4 check is possible,
Yeah, and the queen can.
and the queen can go somewhere. Queen,
And to have a check, maybe.
maybe queen e6 check, for example.
Yeah.
So it's, no, even this is dangerous.
Yeah. Yes. So G5, I can. White cannot play G4. Yeah. And
Maybe this is her idea to play
Here
g4. Let's have a look. G4.
maybe.
H takes. Oh, she's got queen e2 check is possible.
Okay.
F3.
F3. Maybe queen e6.
Queen e6. King h5.
And okay. And maybe just a G takes H.
G takes
pawn?
h4. Queen a8 check.
Can I have a
And now you have to play queen e8 check. It's your only move.
queen A check? Oh, I cannot play Queen F5.
Sorry, where?
Queen F5.
No. Queen A8 check.
Oh, sorry. Queen A8 check and play this.
Queen E8 check. Takes. And this is, how do we, because even this doesn't look absolutely straightforward. And now only King D7.
You see, it's difficult.
It's difficult. It's very, very difficult.
So let's just keep our queen on the board.
It's very difficult. King H5.
Okay, Queen H5.
King C6 is the only move.
Oh, she played
King E8, and now this is lost.
Yeah.
So it's fiendishly difficult, actually.
Yeah. She not see that if she exchanged the queen into the endgame, she will lose again. So
she played. The point was she had to play. Look, she didn't have to, but she should have played F5 much earlier on.
Yeah.
This would have stopped the king entering into the position, because we know the moment the king comes to F3, the black can move the queen.
Yeah.
This way, she's now losing. We know she's losing with queen takes queen and
G4.
G4. Is that right?
Yeah. So Gloria Skrina make mistake. She not feel the dangers in the
well, maybe
endgame.
she did feel the danger, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah, I don't know why she's thinking, because it's obvious that she it's not a difficult way to play. Exchange queens and G4.
Yeah, she has enough time, so she
Yeah.
just check it.
Yeah. And what else do you do? I mean, you can't play King F4.
Yeah.
So it's finished. So queen takes queen wins by force, followed by G4.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise, because your king is more active.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah. I'm waiting for this move.
Okay. Are you going to have a little glass of champagne later in celebration?
No. It's too earlier.
Too early.
Yeah.
In England, we have a very strange expression. We say when the sun rises over the yard arm, and that is a mast on a ship. Well, we're in a port here in Shanghai with ships. So when the sun goes over the mast, you can drink. And that's usually about, it depends where you are in the world, but it's usually about 11 o'clock in the morning.
11 o'clock.
So the British can drink at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
I think it's past 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Cheers.
So she will make
So this
a
is
decision.
the dramatic moment. We could be on the verge
Yeah.
of a breakthrough
Yeah.
in this match. Is Ju Wenjun going to find it? I think she is.
Yeah. I think she will.
Let's get the actual position up on the board. If we can return to we just get the actual position. the current position. And what we are saying...
here.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
it. What we are saying is queen takes queen and g4
Yeah.
wins by force.
I think she will. Yeah.
It's not difficult. It's really, what else do you do? Because you have to open one of the lines. And g4 and then f4 and f5, these are standard ideas.
Yeah. And she has to do this because it's the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, she's
What?
what did she do?
She come back. She play queen e4.
Queen
no,
d5.
queen d5. No, she didn't saw it.
No, she didn't see it.
She didn't see it. Why?
No.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, and now maybe black can play like g5 or what? Maybe g5? No.
G5.
Yeah.
Yeah, G5 is maybe the best chance. I mean, actually, it's already.
She played king f8. Yeah.
She's played king f8.
Yeah.
So now we can win again.
Yeah, it's turn back. But white can play queen
You
a8.
check.
And king f7 and queen b7. It's turn back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually the more complicated variation. That's the one that's leading to the queen and pawn against queen, with that very, very complicated variation, if you remember.
Yeah.
But
so here, if Drew say the endgame, she just can exchange into the winning endgame.
yeah. But the difference is queen a8 check now, which she should do. King f7,
Yeah. And
queen b7, g5 is the best defense.
g5 and she should calculate about maybe g4.
G4, yeah, that's right.
But it's need a
That's
deep calculate.
Yeah, whereas if she just took immediately and played g4,
Yeah.
it was just winning. This one is much more complicated.
Yeah.
This one is this line we were looking at, which was much more complicated.
Yeah, so maybe both of them are not see this endgame maybe.
I'm very glad I'm not playing this position because, it looks very, very simple, but it isn't
Yeah.
very simple. I think f5 was a sort of clear-cut way of playing.
Yeah.
And once you realize that if we go back some moves, if we go back that variation with f5, and you remember the one where black played g5 check? There's we've got so much analysis here that
Okay, maybe go back to here. Not here.
I don't even remember. No, this is the variation. Let me show. Okay, this is how black, I think, should have defended. So, and here we're discussing this, which looks terrible,
Yeah.
except black has only this move, g5 check.
Yeah.
Here, and then, in fact,